A licensed private security guard was recently assaulted outside an Oregon preschool and shot the attacker in self-defense. The attacker's family is calling foul, saying the security guard didn't need to shoot the unarmed man, who was in the midst of a mental health crisis. They argued that instead, the young man was trying to defend himself from the security guard. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a self-defense case that some people are questioning despite some pretty harrowing and disturbing video. The man involved has been cleared of any wrongdoing as of this week, though some still say that it was a bad shoot. So I'll provide the details and let you decide. The case involves 53-year-old Eric Salisbury, who on May 8th was on duty in the parking lot of the Gann School, a Jewish preschool in Portland, Oregon. He is licensed, was carrying a legally owned firearm, and had a body camera. A little before noon, an obnoxiously neon SUV whipped into the school's parking lot, driving at high speeds. Salisbury yelled for the driver to slow down. The vehicle left, but then circled back and sped through the lot again. Now at this point, Salisbury had some concerns, thinking, well, maybe this erratic driver had some bad intentions at the school, so he tried to stop the car, and the driver drove straight at him to the point that Salisbury had to jump out of the way. The car once again sped off, but then pulled into an adjacent driveway and stopped in front of the school playground. Salisbury followed on foot to grab the license plate number, which he repeated into his body cam. It was then that the driver, 32-year-old Manuel Garza, who has schizophrenia, jumped out of the car. He ran at Salisbury, demanding to know what his problem was, which was, probably the fact that you tried to run him over, sir, while he was only doing his job, and assaulted Salisbury. During the altercation, Garza was able to knock the older Salisbury to the ground, yelled at him about doing pig shit, and started choking him. Salisbury warned Garza that he was armed and would shoot him, but it didn't deter Garza, who demanded to be shot. So Salisbury, who was beginning to lose consciousness, pulled out his gun, and you can guess the rest. I do have that footage, but be warned, it's pretty disturbing.
Get out of here! Bravo Hotel Yankee 01. Bravo Hotel Yankee 01. Bravo Hotel. What's your problem? Help you guys? What's your problem? What's your fucking problem? What's your problem? What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Excuse me? You gonna fucking show me? Show me then. Show me. Show me! You won't fucking do it! Fucking show me! You powerless, bitch! What the fuck you gonna do? What the fuck you gonna do? Do some bitch shit! Huh? You gonna do some bitch shit, bitch? What the fuck you gonna do? What's wrong with you, guy? What's wrong with you? You ain't got shit! What the fuck you gonna do? What the fuck you gonna do? Fucking show me! You won't fucking do it!
incident, Salisbury sought medical attention for Garza at the neighboring medical clinic and then called 911. Now, you guys know that I like to cover self-defense situations on this channel because I think that it should have more attention how many times defensive gun uses actually happen. But I will admit that part of the reason why I also chose to cover this story is that because immediately after this incident, Mr. Salisbury called none other than the attorneys on retainer, who you know I've spoken about on the channel before. The Attorneys on Retainer program is brought to you by the Attorneys for Freedom, a law firm that specializes in self-defense incidents. Their entire job is to provide support and peace of mind for gun owners who find themselves in a self-defense incident, and Mr. Salisbury just happened to be a member, which it turned out was pretty lucky for him. Now, as a member of their program, you get complete criminal defense services, financial assistance if needed, bail bond coverage, and even red flag coverage. So long as you're a member and reasonably acted in good faith, they will cover the good shoots, the bad shoots, the in-between shoots. It doesn't matter if you were in a gun-free zone or even a prohibited person. A call to their hotline gets you immediate access to an attorney who then immediately gets on your case. In Mr. Salisbury's case, that included speaking with the lead detective, assigned prosecutor, and retaining an expert investigator on top of other professionals. So if you're not a member already, you can get hooked up with them at my link down in the description and use my code LibertyDoll to get $50 off your individual sign up. Now, in Salisbury's case, it was apparently a complicated, lengthy, month-long investigation. The DA finally decided not to prosecute the case, ruling it as a self-defense incident. As for Garza, he succumbed to his injuries 2 weeks after the shooting. Of course, Garza's family doesn't agree with the decision not to prosecute. They argue that it was Garza who acted in self-defense and that he had been using any means necessary to protect himself from Salisbury.
They said to us, my brother threatened to kill Mr. Salisbury and that he charged him, and that led to Mr. Salisbury defending himself, which led to the shooting and killing. But when we watched the video, that is not what we saw as a family.
His sister argues that because Salisbury followed Garza to the next driveway, Garza felt intimidated and fearful. It was a one-lane drive into the parking lot, and he had tried to back up, but found Salisbury blocking his path. The sister argued that Salisbury could not have felt threatened because he followed Garza after Garza left and didn't call law enforcement.
And, maybe Salisbury felt like my brother was a threat, but at that point, I feel very strongly that any point you felt anybody's a threat, especially at a preschool, why not call law enforcement? You see the body cam. So the body cam shows Mr. Salisbury with the phone in his hand. He never once calls 911 as he's walking over to the clinic where my brother pulled into. And so then you just continue to see him getting closer and closer to my brother. While my brother is Manuel is trying to reverse. And obviously Salisbury's kind of blocking it in a sense, right? They're not close together, but if he reversed all the way out, he'd end up hitting him. So he kind of reverses. He looks like he's going to pull into a parking lot. And that's when you see my Manuel exit the vehicle, obviously very upset.
Which I will give her that. It is a bit of a fair point, but also remember, he approached to get the license plate, which he claimed was so that he could file a police report. And if Garza did in fact feel threatened, he could have not driven to the next driveway. He could have not sped through a preschool parking lot. After all, he is the one in the car. He could have left and just ended the altercation before this point. His sister also told local news that the way she sees it, Salisbury began choking Garza first.
They go to get in each other's face, and you will see from the body cam, my brother's arms are down by his side, and Mr. Salisbury's hands go directly to Manuel's neck and starts grabbing him and choking him by the neck. And then at that point, you do see my brother react to defend himself. Don't get to see the side of Mr. Salisbury, but my brother is defending himself.
The family also claims that because the incident happened in the adjacent driveway that was next to the playground, but also for the medical clinic's employee lot, that Salisbury no longer had jurisdiction, which is not really how self-defense works. His sister claimed that what her family saw in the video is Salisbury choking Garza, who was not fighting back by kicking or punching. And she says because Salisbury placed the gun on Garza's stomach and didn't do a quick draw, he couldn't have been fearing for his life.
And so obviously you see the altercation. At some point, Manuel postures up. So I'm sure I can't see the other person, but you see him postured up. It's not like there's punching, kicking, stomping. It's really not a whole lot of movement at that time. And that's when you do see the gun come up being placed on my brother's Manuel's stomach. It's not like it was a quick draw shooting out of fear for life. It was more of a placement. Of course, my brother is shouting, shoot me, etc. And that's when the gun goes off.
It's an interesting argument. I can't say that that's what I see in the footage, but I'm also not the young man's family. People will tell themselves all kinds of things. And I know that this is kind of an extreme comparison, but if we take that sort of logic, that's kind of like saying, oh, well, that woman over there who was being assaulted, oh, like, she didn't mind that was happening because she didn't fight back hard enough. Not really how that works. They also argued that Salisbury should have used pepper spray instead, but according to a memo and news reports on the case, Salisbury's pepper spray was behind his back, so he couldn't actually access it from the ground. Now, some local news reports have also been talking to a security guard or two who are unrelated to the case and have been having their 15 minutes of fame on the media, saying that it's a bad shoot simply because he followed the car. But again, at the same time, you call the cops on an erratic driver, what are they going to do? They're probably going to ask for a license plate. And once someone is choking you, all bets are off. I don't think you have a choice. I think that this one is pretty cut and dry, but maybe you don't, and I would love to hear down in the comments. And for what it's worth, Mr. Salisbury was not the only one in fear for his life in this situation. An employee of the medical clinic next door later came forward and said that she had seen the entire incident from her car while she was eating lunch. And she was fearful for her life, afraid that if she did anything or tried to intervene, that Garza would instead turn on her and harm her. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this video. You guys know the drill. For all of the algorithm things, please do them. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe out there and happy shooting.